Okay, so look, I'm back with another credit video, and today's video gonna be about the 5 top tips on how to maximize your credit, get the best of it, get high credit limits, and how to bring them low credit scores up. Now, to some of y'all, it may be self-explanatory or repetitive because most information about credit is kind of repetitive or rhetorical to some if you don't know it. But now, if you don't, that's who this video is for. So don't be selfish, pass it along if you feel like it's not for you. But I feel like everybody's gonna get a lot from this video, whether you got a good credit score, pretty decent, whatever. But so I'm gonna start with the 5 little board because I refuse to erase out my checklist for this week, just for the sake of this example. So let me get one of these and let's roll. Pay your bills on time. Now, this may sound self-explanatory to most people, but how do people ever fall behind if everybody is known to pay their bills on time? It's because we don't. So, main thing is you want to keep a calendar, if you may, a dry erase board, whatever, something on your refrigerator or in your notes in your phone, something to remember to always pay your bills on time, because that play a crucial role in credit building or derogatories reported towards your credit. So let me erase this, get to the next example. Now my handwriting horrible, but you get the point. If you can't. Okay, now this one may sound equally as most self-explanatory. Don't borrow if you can't pay. But you'd be surprised how many people actually take on more credit than what they can stand. And that's why a lot of people look at credit in a negative as far as when they get over their head in debt. And a lot of people also run off on a plug, as in layman's terms today that we use. They get enough credit, max it out, then don't pay it back. Or either that's what leads to you missing a bill when you don't got the money to pay it. So moving on to the next one. Number 3 is only use a small percentage of your credit line each month. What that means is you don't want to be close to maxing it out every month or make it look like to the lender that you solely dependent upon that credit. And even if you spend a whole lot, like I said, long you pay it back down to at least 30% and below, that's the standard number you want to stay at, 30% and below on your credit score. And what that looks like is if you have a credit line of, let's just say, 1,000, 10% of 1,000 is $100, so 30% will leave you at $300. You don't want to cross that limit. And another thing of why this is important is this is how your balance accumulate every month. And before you know it, you almost at that point of maxing it out. So you to use more credit than what's available. Number 4, moving along. Number 4, let your credit cards age. What this means is a lot of us gonna start out with typical cards like secure credit cards, which is you proving to the banks that you're reliable by putting up a deposit of your own funds to start establishing credit. And usually that's released back to you at the end of whatever term you select, or if they just decide to give you an unsecured credit line. And most people tend to want to close out that account when they get a larger credit line, but you still want to keep all your credit cards that you initially started with, because a major portion that makes up credit is age and history, which is pretty much the same thing. And especially when you're using authorized users and trade lines, you want to definitely keep all your cards for a while and don't close them out just because you got approved for a new line of credit. Still keep it open. Okay, now this one is a fun fact I'm gonna leave you with, is don't let your spouse pull you down. Which is a joke, but it can also be real, and that applies to family members too, because typically when people know you got good credit, they want you to put stuff in their name, help them, co-sign for this or do that. Don't do that. that's a quick way to watch your credit score drop, because if people ain't responsible, they ain't making them payments, you're responsible for it, especially if you co-sign for it. So now you're stuck with a bill that you didn't create. You feel like you don't want to pay it. You don't pay it. Now your credit score just dropped. But now I'm going to go more into details on 1 through 5, what I just listed. And even though these is the top 5 ways to keep your credit in a good standing, get higher credit limits, I'm going to go more in depth. So you might end up with 10 at the end of this video. So stay tuned. I know I said I'm going to give you the top 5 points, but being the generous guy that I am, I'm going to go ahead and give you more. And one of those methods to staying ahead of your credit card bills, as well as getting high limits and maintaining a decent credit score, is making multiple payments each month, even if it's not much more than the one monthly payment you usually make. That not only shows that you pay on time every month, but also pay more than what is due each month. Another method that most don't know, and it's a myth, that student loans play a major part in your credit score and why it's up or down or whatnot. That has some truth to it, but not a whole lot, because right now with COVID going on, there's so many flexibilities when it comes to your student loan payments that you can actually build your credit score by making payments right now. And even when it's saying that you don't have to make payments due to COVID relief and different programs that you can participate in. And here I'm gonna give you an example from my own situation. I still make my student loan payments monthly despite it saying no balance due. And guess what that does to my credit score? Shoot it straight up. So hopefully you learned a few tips to getting ahead on your credit. Like, comment, and subscribe. DM me on Instagram if you got any other questions or concerns. I'll be more than willing to help you.